Massive Russian attack on Kyiv, 2 dead as NATO prepares weapons for Ukraine. In a shocking move, Russia has launched one of its most significant aerial attacks on Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, just hours before a crucial meeting between the UK and Germany to discuss US President Donald Trump's plans for NATO allies to provide weapons to Ukraine. The attack claimed 2 lives, including a 12-year-old, and injured 15 others, as reported by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. This assault highlights the pressing need for additional Western military aid, particularly in air defense, following Trump's announcement that deliveries would reach Ukraine within days. The virtual meeting, led by British Defense Secretary John Healey and his German counterpart Boris Pistorius, will be attended by US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, NATO leader Mark Rutte, and NATO's Supreme Allied Commander Europe, General Alexis Grinkowicz, as part of the Ukraine Defense Contact Group. As Russia intensifies its long-range attacks on Ukrainian cities, experts predict that these barrages will likely escalate due to the expansion of Russian drone production. In response, President Trump has issued a 50-day deadline for Moscow to agree to a ceasefire or face more severe sanctions. During the meeting, British Defence Chief John Healey is expected to urge Ukraine's Western partners to initiate a simultaneous 50-day drive to supply Kyiv with the necessary weapons to combat Russia's larger army and pressure Russian President Vladimir Putin into negotiations, according to a UK government statement. Trump's arms plan involves European nations sending American weapons to Ukraine through NATO, either from existing stockpiles or by purchasing and donating new ones. The US president suggested that discussions were partly focused on advanced Patriot air defense systems, with deliveries set to begin within days. However, senior officials have indicated that no transfers have taken place yet. NATO's Grinkowicz stated that preparations for weapons transfers to Ukraine are underway, while US Ambassador to NATO Matthew Whitaker could not provide a specific time frame. Germany has offered to finance 2 new Patriot systems for Ukraine and proposed supplying systems it already owns, which would be replaced by the US. However, delivery may take time, as Mura suggested that transportation and setup could take days or even weeks. Additional Patriot systems could be provided by Switzerland, whose defense ministry announced that the U.S. Defense Department informed them of their intention to reprioritize the delivery of 5 previously ordered systems to support Ukraine. While Ukraine awaits the arrival of Patriots, a senior NATO official confirmed that the alliance is still coordinating the delivery of other military aid, such as ammunition and artillery rounds, including assistance from the U.S. that was briefly paused. Zelensky revealed that his officials have proposed a new round of peace talks this week, with Russian state media reporting that no date has been set for the negotiations, but Istanbul is likely to remain the host city. The Kremlin spokesman stated that Russia is open to peace with Ukraine, but prioritizes achieving its goals. The overnight Russian barrage on Kyiv began shortly after midnight and continued until around 6 a.m., with residents kept awake by machine gun fire, buzzing drone engines, and multiple loud explosions. In one Kyiv district, a kindergarten, a supermarket, and warehouse facilities caught fire, according to officials. This was the first major attack on Kyiv since Trump's special envoy to Ukraine, Keith Kellogg, arrived in the city last Monday, during which Russia halted strikes on Kyiv. Ukraine's Air Force reported that Russia launched 426 Shahd and decoy drones overnight Monday, along with 24 missiles of various types. They claimed that 200 drones were intercepted, with 203 more jammed or lost from radars. Russian missile strikes on Ukraine, a night of terror and chaos. Imagine a city where the night sky is lit not by stars, but by explosions. That's the grim reality for Kyiv and other Ukrainian cities, as Russia unleashes another wave of destruction. But here's where it gets controversial. While Kyiv faces relentless missile barrages, its own long-range drone strikes are turning the tables, causing chaos at Moscow's airports. This back-and-forth escalation raises a haunting question: can peace ever emerge from such a cycle of retaliation? Last Sunday, Russia fired 450 missiles and drones into Ukraine, according to the Ukrainian Air Force. Though most were intercepted, 23 struck critical locations, and debris from the downed weapons rained down on 12 areas. Nationwide air alerts blared, with reports of 2 deaths and 16 injuries in 24 hours. President Zelensky condemned the attacks as assaults on humanity, citing a kindergarten fire and damaged civilian infrastructure. "They are monsters," cried Lilia Berdychevska, mother of a survivor, as she sifted through ashes, her son's home reduced to rubble. "How lucky that my son is alive." Oleksandr Berdychevsky, 38, described his harrowing escape: 3 explosions, a door blown open, glass shards raining down, and a jammed exit. He lost everything: documents, savings, except $50 in cash. Meanwhile, in Kyiv's Lukyanivska subway station, residents like Katerina huddled for safety. "We got used to the panic," she said, cradling her dog amid shattered debris. "We care for each other, even the animals." The attacks spread havoc across districts. Fires engulfed a supermarket and residential buildings in Donetsky, while a kindergarten in Dniprovsky was hit by falling debris. In Kyiv, 12 strikes damaged roads, trams, and homes. The arsenal included hard-to-intercept Kinzhal missiles, a technological nightmare for Ukraine's defenses. Russia's strategy has shifted to overnight strikes on cities far from the front line. Earlier this month, Kyiv faced 728 drones and 13 missiles in a single assault. Yet Ukraine retaliates. This weekend, Moscow's airports became a scene of chaos, as thousands queued or slept on floors due to drone-related delays. Russian authorities claimed 49 drones were shot down with no major damage, but the psychological impact is undeniable. Amid the carnage, Zelensky called for ceasefire talks, echoing U.S. pressure for a deal. Moscow's response: "Ready to move quickly," said Peskov, though Russia's objectives remain opaque. The last Istanbul talks collapsed after an hour, with Russia demanding maximalist territorial concessions, a red line for Ukraine. "We won't consider any territorial losses," Zelensky has vowed. And this is the part most people miss: the human cost of these negotiations. Every delay in peace talks means more shattered lives, more children displaced, more families like the Berdychevskys. Should Ukraine compromise on territorial integrity for peace? Or is holding the line the only way to deter future aggression? Share your thoughts below. This is a debate that could shape the region's future.